Let us examine the truth together by looking at the reality we all know with the right mindset. We will focus on countries that describe themselves as democratic, but at the appropriate time we will also examine other systems so that we can compare them. In elections, a voter chooses a political party or a political representative who, in theory, should serve the interests of the population. But does this really happen? Do these political parties and their representatives keep every promise they make in order to receive people's votes? Do they always act for the common good? Do they faithfully follow the programs they publicly presented and on which they were elected? We are confident that everyone already knows the answers to these simple yet fundamental questions. Political representation is almost never in everyone's interest. In many cases, those who gain power through electoral support immediately serve the interests of lobbying groups, organizations with specific agendas, or wealthy, powerful, and influential individuals. Politics is often subject to the power of a few, transforming the partial, incomplete, and temporary democracy of elections and occasional referendums into an oligarchic party system in which the population no longer counts for anything after voting. For many years, citizens remain powerless in the face of decisions made by political parties and representatives within old and failed traditional systems. We know it is difficult to admit that ordinary citizens often have little real influence and that, when a political party or representative breaks its promises, people convince themselves that they can simply vote for someone else in the next election. But let us ask a simple question: after voting for someone else, does the situation truly change and improve? The answer is simple and obvious: little or nothing changes. Any initial improvements are usually temporary and soon become ineffective because almost anyone who gains power eventually becomes subject to those who truly hold it. And we can assure you that it is almost never the population. The facts demonstrate this reality. That is why we want to explain what changes completely, immediately, and permanently with our system. DirectDemocracyS is the first and only political organization that allows its voters, through its own platforms, to maintain continuous participation over time and complete control over its political representatives. We do this before, during, and, for the first time in the world, even after elections. In practice, we are the only complete, authentic, incorruptible, and continuous democracy. To make all this possible, we need users and voters who want to become active participants and take direct responsibility. We also require highly detailed implementation rules and exceptional security measures to prevent every possible problem. The important fact is that after elections, democracy is not taken away from voters, who are the people, by political parties and political representatives. Instead, it remains firmly in the hands, minds, and hearts of the population. In traditional systems, political parties and their representatives make the decisions and therefore act as the puppet masters, while the population and the voters become the puppets, who must obey all the rules and laws imposed by their political masters. In DirectDemocracyS, we reverse these roles. Our voters, through our platforms, become the true puppet masters, making complete and continuous decisions regarding what their political representatives must do. Those representatives have the obligation to represent them exactly as their only legitimate principles decide, namely the people who placed them in public institutions through their votes. Does this sound unbelievable? Verify it for yourself by studying our system. We were not satisfied with creating the only authentic and continuous democracy. To ensure that dictatorships and corruption can never emerge, we created a genuinely and completely shared leadership model in which our users and voters, through our platforms, decide everything. Their decisions are supported by groups of human and technological specialists so that every decision and every vote is made by people who are properly informed. To make the entire system impossible to corrupt or control improperly, we have made all official members collective owners of all our platforms, all our activities, and therefore of our entire innovative system, which is completely different from all others. Search for, find, and study DirectDemocracyS thoroughly and with an open mind. You will discover that it is possible to change and improve the world together through the only system that implements unity in diversity and guarantees for everyone, forever, equality through the same rules, the same rights, and the same duties for all, always combined with meritocracy, rewarding the best individuals and groups according to the points they accumulate after joining us,